Gunnar Thompson with Oat Specialties, and today we're going to start our 4-part series on recovery. Part 2 of this series over recovery. Let's talk about what happens to your body as the season goes along. Like I said in part 1, we're already halfway through the season and you may be starting to feel some of the aches and pains, but let's actually look at what your body is doing. So first thing is, your body is could be experiencing some central nervous system fatigue. So that's your CNS. That's basically kind of what gets you really going. And so if it's starting to kind of run down, then you may be starting to see yourself move a little slower, react a little slower, that sort of thing. 2, it's microtrauma to the muscles and the connective tissue. So this happens really anytime we pitch, throw, hit, whatever. You know, we're not really causing a large amount of damage anytime we do that, but every time we do something really explosive, even in the weight room, whenever we're overloading, we cause microtrauma to the muscles and the tendons, and that needs to recover and build back stronger so that you can stay healthy. Next would be maybe a lack or low moderate level of activity. So because you're playing so often during the season, your body is not having enough time to have some of that low to moderate level of activity to kind of build itself back up. You're go, you know, you're redlining. That's the way I like to put it. You know, if you're in the car and you're gunning it, well, during a season, that's kind of what you're doing nonstop. And so a lot of the times you need to be able to come back into the green zone so that you can let your body recover so that you can ramp it back up into that red zone when you need it. So next is poor sleep. As we talked about with the central nervous system fatigue and then also that redlining, okay, that can lead to poor sleep as well because your brain activity is still wired. You know, you're still aggressive, you're still ready to go, you're amped up, so it can cause a little bit of detriment to your sleep. And if you're already having poor sleep, then it just compounds itself. You know, we talked about in part 1, and if you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. That's the best way and easiest way to improve your recovery is sleep. So poor sleep definitely happens as the season goes along, whether you're at a collegiate level, a high school level, or even professional level. Lastly, it's going to be poor nutrition and hydration. So again, we're busy, you know, we're redlining. Well, what do you want? You just want something simple, you want something easy to grab, you want that convenience factor. A lot of times that's not going to be the healthiest of foods for you. And then also, you know, maybe you reach for that Gatorade, or maybe a sports drink or an energy drink, or you do something because you're trying to get, you know, a little bit more energy out of it. And in reality, you really may just need, you know, some water, some potassium, some sodium, and that sort of thing. So it's really easy to kind of go down this road of having a poor nutrition and hydration status as the season goes along because it's really about convenience, and the last thing you want to think about is trying to meal prep. So I will leave you with this. A great tip to implement right away is to log your food and water intake and then adjust. So I'm not talking about overhauling, I'm not talking about meal prepping, I'm not talking about being strict on a diet or anything like that. But first and foremost, just be aware of what you're putting in your body and then adjusting with it. So if you're looking at it and you only had maybe 2 liters of water for the day, well, now you're aware of it, so maybe you try to bump it up to 3 or get that 4, which is a gallon, which, you know, pretty much everybody recommends. I know personally, whenever I get a gallon of water, my energy level is a lot better. And so people don't realize what kind of detriment dehydration really has. But the other thing is with food, you know, you could look at it and say, man, I'm really having a lot of these simple sugars and carbs and stuff like that. You know, maybe I should start, you know, eating a little bit more, you know, whole grains or something like that, something to sit a little bit more in your belly and give you more sustained energy. Or, you know, a lot of times some people are not having some of those healthy fats in their diet either, and that could be, you know, providing a lack of energy as well. So log your food and water intake and then adjust right away, and then you really will start seeing a little bit better recovery, but also a better performance.